Hey everyone, Cosmic Mango here, your favorite mango from outer space. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. In this video, I'm going to be discussing some commanders that in my opinion are very underplayed and very powerful. With Commander having a humongous amount of commanders to play, loads of cards get forgotten or overlooked. I'm hoping today to show you a commander that interests you enough to pick up, play, and most importantly, enjoy. All commanders listed have been checked on EDHrec.com to see how much the commander is actually being used. So, without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Number 1. Inga and Eseka. There are currently 794 decks on EDH REC, and it ranks 819th place in popularity. A legendary human god creature that costs 1 green, 1 blue, and 2 generic mana to cast. It has 4 power and 4 toughness and says the following. Creatures you control have vigilance and tap. Add 1 mana of any colour. Spend this mana only to cast a creature spell. Whenever you cast a creature spell, if 3 or more mana from creatures were spent to cast it, draw a card. This is a very fun Simic commander that loves playing alongside a creature based deck. Giving all our creatures vigilance is nice, and being able to make them mana dorks for casting creature spells is superb. It can really help us keep the ball rolling. The icing on the cake though is the card draw this card offers. We can very easily cast creature spells that cost 3 or more mana, meaning the card draw is going to be raining in, and you can buy this commander for around 80 cents. Number 2. Mazzy Truesword Paladin. There are currently 1,500 decks on EDH Rec, and it ranks 525th in popularity. A legendary halfling knight that costs 1 white, 1 green, 1 red, and 1 generic mana to cast. She has 3 power and 4 toughness and says the following. Whenever an enchanted creature attacks one of your opponents, it gets +2/+0 and gains trample until the end of turn. Whenever an aura you control is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, exile it. Until the end of your next turn, you may cast that card. An interesting commander indeed, as the first effect can be pretty political. Enchant opponents' creatures so that they can get +2 power and trample whenever they attack one of our opponents. This commander can make it fun for us to try and make our opponents all attack each other instead of attacking us. Or you can strictly only enchant your own creatures so when they attack they get the nice buff instead. We also have the ability to recur the auras we lose without having black in our commander's identity, which is pretty awesome. And you can buy this commander for around 50 cents. Number 3. Tocasia, Dig Site Mentor. There are around 707 decks right now on EDH Rec, and she ranks 873. A legendary human artificer that costs 1 blue, 1 white, 1 green, and 1 generic mana to cast. She has 4 power and 3 toughness and says the following. Creatures you control have vigilance and tap. Surveil 1. To surveil 1, look at the top card of your library. You may put that card into your graveyard. For 2 generic mana, for 2 green mana, for 2 white, for 2 blue, exile Tocasia, Dig Site Mentor from your graveyard, return any number of target artifact cards with total mana value 10 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, activate this only as a sorcery. Being a Bant Seth Mill commander is interesting, very unique indeed. Having the vigilance is sweet, but the surveil can really open the deck building doors for us. She can make a very good artifact focused deck, and you'll be surprised at how powerful this deck can actually be. You can buy this commander for around 50 cents. Number 4. Empress Galina. There are currently around 442 decks on EDH Rec, and she ranks 1082. A legendary creature that costs 2 blue and 3 generic mana to cast. She has 1 power and 3 toughness and says the following. 2 blue mana and tap. Gain control of target legendary permanent. This effect lasts indefinitely. Looking for a way to steal your opponent's commanders? Well, look no further. Empress Galena is here. What's so cool about her is we can steal any legendary permanent, so it doesn't necessarily have to be a creature. You can potentially steal multiple permanents at the same time if you combo with her correctly. You can buy this commander for around $6. Number 5. Prime Speaker Vannifar. There are currently 1,160 decks in EDH Rec, and she ranks 658th. A legendary elf ooze wizard that costs 1 blue, 1 green, and 2 generic mana to cast. She has 2 power and 4 toughness and says the following. Tap. Sacrifice another creature, search your library for a creature card with mana value equal to 1 plus the sacrificed creature's mana value. Put that card onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Activate only as a sorcery. Vannifar allows us to do all sorts of cool things, sacrificing a smaller creature to search for something slightly larger or something with a better effect, and continue this cycle until we eventually either combo off or throw something absolutely huge onto the battlefield to hopefully wipe out an opponent or even opponents. She's basically a birthing pod on a creature. She's a versatile commander that can enable a lot of cool strategies, and you can buy this commander for around $2. Number 6, the final card on my list, Muxus Goblin Grande. There are currently 1,208 decks on EDH.com, and he ranks 640th. A legendary goblin noble creature that costs 2 red and 4 generic mana to cast. He has 4 power and 4 toughness and says the following. When Muxus Goblin Grande enters the battlefield, reveal the top 6 cards of your library. Put all goblin creature cards with mana value 5 or less from among them onto the battlefield, and the rest on the bottom of your library, in a random order. Whenever Muxus attacks, it gets +1/+1 until the end of turn for each goblin you control. The Goblin King. Aside from Kringo Mob Boss, I feel like Muxus could be one of the best goblin tribal commanders out there. Plus, he is a goblin wearing a crown. What's not to love? Muxus can go the goblin tribal route, or you can even use him to knock players out with commander damage, making him a pretty interesting and versatile Voltron commander. You can buy this commander for around $6. Okie dokie, that is the end of my list. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, would you kindly drop a like and subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. It's a huge goal of mine, and making that milestone would be incredible. I would love to know if you have any fun and underplayed commander recommendations. If you do, please share them in the comment section below. I love reading your comments, and I answer back to as many of the comments as I can. Thanks for watching everyone, and as always, take care and goodbye.